Well, hello, 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 beautiful, gorgeous, amazing you. I am Janet Riney, and I'm so excited that you are here and you've chosen to join me for today's empowering training. We're going to dive into how you, a woman who's going through or has come out the other end of divorce, can love again without the fear of being hurt in the future. It's taken me years, yes, years to refine this approach, but it's all been worth it. Together with my clients, we've used this understanding so women, just like yourself, can live a life of love and freedom once again on your own terms. So, yes, my beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, resilient you, especially if you've experienced divorce, prepare to embark upon an exciting and rewarding learning experience in this training. I believe you're going to have a fantastic time discovering who and what you truly are and unlocking those beautiful, amazing gifts that you have. So let's get into this. So here, this is when I was speaking about the EDUCE framework. This is what removes the guesswork and simplifies the entire process of rediscovering your true nature after divorce. So you can ask for what you want in your relationships without fear. I'm going to walk you through some of the different steps of this. So we're going to have lots and lots of fun. Now, it just stands to reason that the results that I've got are not typical, and so are the results of my clients as well. But I'm going to share with you what's worked for me, what's worked for my clients, and then you can do whatever you want to do with that information. It's entirely up to you. Is that fair? Just give me a quick yes in the question box if that sounds fair to you. And if you're joining me here on this training, which you are, then you will be looking forward to hearing how you can rediscover yourself. I love to see engagement, so put some likes or put something in the chat just to let me know that you're here. Okay, then let's move on. Now, as I've said before, even though the results aren't typical of everybody, here's one of my clients, Jessica. Now, what's really cool and what's really amazing is that Jessica came to me having tried therapy, counseling, and even medication. Her world had become so small she felt she didn't want to leave the house. She worked with me on a one-to-one basis for 3 months, and at the end of which she said she didn't get anxious anymore. Even if you look at the picture in here, that she's traveling the world by herself at times, has her own business, and even involved in joint ventures with other businesses too. So it can see how this method not only has worked for me, but has worked for my clients. And let's have a look at another client, Kimberly. It's the same for her. She invested in herself and completed a 3 month one-to-one coaching with me. She was tired and burnt out from her business and her relationship when she came to me. She was finding it exhausting to please everyone. However, once she had an understanding of the EDUCE framework, her world literally changed. She went from people pleasing to not caring what others thought, not in a horrible, selfish way. It's just that she didn't seek approval from others about what she wanted to do. And as a result, her relationship flourished and her business improved because the change within changed everything she did and how she saw the world. See, when you look at the EDUCE framework, it actually works even better during this current difficult situation, during this time of crisis, because with things changing, the economy changing, finances changing, governments changing, there's uncertainty, panic, and worry. It's just that in this way, in understanding the EDUCE framework, clients are thriving, their lives are beautiful, gorgeous, and continue to improve. And the reason they're doing that is because they're not following the crowd. They are listening to, tapping into who and what they truly are, their true wisdom, in order to get the results they want in life. And so, in understanding and going through the EDUCE framework, you will feel more confident in your ability to make decisions, and you'll make them quicker because this is you having an understanding of who and what you truly are. You'll be able to get out of your own way and let the universe work its magic. You see, we're under the illusion that we can control everything, that everything depends upon us, but nothing could be further from the truth. When you understand who and what you truly are, your role within the universe, and how the universe works, then you recognize that there is a power greater than yourself that's at work here, and you can allow that to lead as opposed to you thinking you have to work everything out. You'll know what you want and stop waiting for others to give you permission. You'll go after it yourself. You'll have that innate confidence and courage to ask for what you want and go for what you want unashamedly. And you'll have the courage to have the adventure of a lifetime. This life of yours can be an adventure. Yes, the divorce that you're going through or have been through has been part of that adventure. And you'll start to see the blessings in it. It may feel difficult at times. However, if that hadn't happened, you would not be having a better understanding of who and what you truly are. Now, the thing is, things that you may have been doing to rediscover yourself, if you didn't know about EDUCE, these are some of the things that people have been doing in order to find love, in order to rebuild their lives. They'll go onto dating sites. And going onto dating sites, you'll compromise your values and beliefs. You'll rush into a relationship because you believe that that's what will heal you. And in some instances, it will, but you've got to be in the right place as well in order to heal, not only prior to, but within your relationship as well. Sometimes you may be closed off or guarded because you don't want to be hurt again. But then on the other side, you might be putting so much pressure on yourself to be in a relationship, you compromise. You do what you think is best for everybody else, and you don't listen to yourself. You sacrifice your own values, your own beliefs. Sometimes you may also be dishonest and withhold information because your focus is on being in a relationship and moving on with your life. And you believe that being in a relationship is moving on with your life, but you're not being honest with yourself, and let alone being honest with your new potential partner. You can also be very overly self critical and doubt yourself, which in turn will hinder your potential for understanding, loving who you are, and finding love in somebody else. As I said, you may seek validation because you're not even sure about what you want and how you want to create an amazing relationship, not only with yourself, but with a partner. And so that can create an unhealthy dynamic. You may then also be too passive or too accommodating when you're trying to move on with your life in a relationship or in any aspect of your life. And you keep up a brave face when you may be dying inside. And you'll ignore your personal growth because you feel you just need to get on with life. And if you've been trying all of these things, you know they do not work. And so it is time to look for something different. That's why you're here. The old tried and tested hasn't worked for you. And so you want to look for something else. Because when you're looking in this direction, outside of yourself, to do things, then your thoughts and emotions can be pulled in so many different directions that you don't have enough time or energy to pay attention to what is really true, what you really need in this moment. You can also be on an emotional roller coaster, and I know how that feels. When I started to go down a path seeking divorce, there would be moments when I'd be absolutely euphoric, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be free and have the most amazing life and make plans for the future. I'd feel like I was on top of the world. And then there were other moments when I had fears and doubts, and I would feel at rock bottom, thinking that my dreams, the life that I'd wanted, would never happen. And so there would be these up and down emotions that I would go through. But deep down, in understanding who and what I truly are, my true identity, my wisdom was keeping me on track. And so I knew and understood that the divorce was the best thing to do, and the framework became the guide. But like I said, I came through this and I want to share this framework with you. And so, in sharing this framework, you're going to understand and learn how to overcome feelings of shame. See, we can have different thoughts about how our marriage didn't work, what will people think about us, and it can result in feelings of shame and guilt. We're going to move beyond that. We're going to look at how you can tap into your innate confidence and courage by looking within, by looking at your true identity and who and what you truly are, so that you learn to trust yourself again. Now, it's not that you're never going to doubt yourself. However, you don't spend that much time within the space of doubting yourself. You will tap into your innate wisdom and you will begin to have fun in your life again. Now, in having a look at this EDUCE model, you do so without having to relive your traumatic experience. See, this approach, this framework, it doesn't need you to go into the past or to relive your negative experiences of your past relationship. That was the last thing I wanted to do when in creating this framework. See, as a facilitator and trainer who's been in the personal development field for over 20 years, I have learned so many techniques and approaches, none of which worked if I wasn't prepared to do the work. And let's be honest, who wants to do the work all the time? Particularly when you are feeling you don't want to do the work and you're feeling in a really crappy space. See, understanding this framework meant that you don't have to apply a technique or a practice because what you are looking at is who and what you truly are, things you do on a day to day basis. And so it's not a practice, it's an understanding. And you can also be confident in what you're doing is for your best. And when you feel in a good space, then everybody else benefits from that. And so you don't have to be fearful of what other people may think because what you are doing will benefit them in the long run also. And so in utilizing the EDUCE framework, it enables you to put your life the right way up, even though it may feel like it's upside down, you'll be the right way up. Now, having been in the personal development field and worked with women who are coming through divorce and in many different stages of their life, there have been so many objections. And so some have said that they're too old to start again. So you've heard that age is nothing but a number. And so in understanding who and what you truly are, age is irrelevant. You can start at any moment, at any time. You'll lose your independence in a new relationship. Well, if we delve into the importance of maintaining your independence in a new relationship and how to establish healthy boundaries, see, the framework will guide you through this process of how to respect yourself, how to cherish your independence while still having a healthy and balanced partnership that enhances your individual strengths. You're too busy to work and invest in something new. See, we'll share practical advice on how to prioritize your personal growth while still juggling other commitments. See, if you're not prepared to invest in yourself, well, who else will? In entering a relationship where you're not prepared to invest in yourself, why would you expect anybody else to invest in you? You are worth all the investment in your life. See, the framework may sound too good to be true. Now, for many people, it may sound too good because when you're comparing things to an old framework and an old paradigm, this does sound too good when you don't have to be reliant upon different techniques, different approaches, and just understand who you are. It can sound too good. But believe you me, with all of the different testimonials and people that I've worked with, it is true. And also, again, you may be worried about what other people may think of you. This is your life. This is you moving forward with your life. And this framework will enable you to develop a resilient state of mind, enabling you to focus on your own well being, your own peace, your own happiness, rather than being swayed by external judgments. So join us, continue to listen in on this webinar and engage. Say yes and indicate yes in the chat if this is something that you really want to move forward with your life, to engage in your life, to take control of your life moving forward. So, who is this Janet Riney? I hear you ask. So, I am a coach, facilitator, and trainer who has spent almost 30 years in the personal development field. I'm in my 50s, and so having had the experience of going through divorce in my late 40s, mid 50s, I am perfectly positioned to speak with you about this. And so get ready to hear about the experience. And in this picture, you can see that I am loving life, feeling fun, feeling amazing, but it wasn't always like this. See, when I got married in my late 30s, I had already had my own business, feeling that I knew everything there really was in order to manage my own state, to manage who I was, to manage my emotions. And so I thought I was really self aware and ready for marriage. And it's what I believed that marriage should be, that I married my best friend. It looked like the perfect marriage, but after the first year, I felt I had lost myself and began wondering, is this it? Is this the marriage that I thought I should have? Even though I'd been through preparation for marriage courses, it felt as if nobody truly told me what marriage was really going to be like. And so I felt I lost myself in my marriage and I didn't know who I was anymore. I felt sad and even bordered on feelings of depression because I felt so low most of the time. And with the years of experience I had in the personal development field, no amount of techniques was working to bring me back to who I truly was. I felt lost and at times felt I was crazy. I should be happy in this marriage. But after being unhappy for many years and trying to change myself to fit into a mold that I thought that was a wife, then that's where the unhappiness came from. Put a 7 in the chat if you can relate to what I'm saying. This dream that you had of what marriage should be rather than what marriage actually was. And it was that sadness, that unrealized expectations that was bringing the sadness in my life. And as time went on, I began to understand that I didn't want to be sad anymore. As part of my business development, I came across an understanding, a psycho spiritual understanding about behavioral change. And so embarked upon this course with gusto because I thought it was going to help me in my business. But I didn't realize how much it was going to change me. It was not only was it about getting greater clarity for my clients, but I had a greater understanding of who I was. And in deep diving into this understanding, it was recognizing that it wasn't the techniques that changed me. It was understanding who and what I truly was that brought about this change. And so having a greater understanding of these fundamental principles behind all human experience, I began to uncover the courage and confidence that was already there, the courage and confidence to look for the life I wanted, the courage and confidence to say, actually, I'd rather be single than be in a marriage like this. And it was this understanding of who I was enabled me to tap into my innate resilience and courage to know I would be okay and everything would work out fine. In making that decision, I automatically felt lighter. I'd made the decision, and as a result of that decision, I knew deep down in my heart where I was heading. I was heading towards my happiness and my joy. And so, in understanding this psycho spiritual approach, in working through my own divorce and coming through the other end, I continued to heal and grow. I began to document my experiences and insights in a journal. Not only was this an emotional outlet for me, but also served as a reminder of the progress I'd made. As I read back through my journal entries, I was struck by how far I'd come and how much I'd learned about myself and the capacity for resilience and tapping into that innate courage, confidence, and wisdom. It was during this time of reflection that I realized that these experiences that I'd been through could help women going through experiences like myself. I'd learned so much about the power of self rediscovery, the importance of caring and loving myself and understanding who and what I truly was, that I felt compelled to share this knowledge and insight with others. And this led me to create the EDUCE framework that I'm sharing with you, specifically for you who are navigating complex emotions and challenges in coming through divorce, in drawing from my own experiences and this field of psychology. I started working with others and offering guidance and support and understanding as they understood more about themselves and understand their own rediscovery journey and growth. This is what happened when I worked with my client Varsha. When she came to me, she had come through a marriage that had felt abusive to her emotionally and psychologically, so that she didn't even know who she was. After working with me for 4 months on a one-to-one basis, she said she felt like she was living a completely different life. And when she looked back on the person she was, she couldn't even recognize that person. And so, in having an understanding of this EDUCE model, you learn to have a greater sense of freedom in your life. See, in the end, my divorce became a catalyst for my self rediscovery and transformation, as well as my inspiration for moving forward in life and creating the EDUCE framework. As I continue to help others to find their way, I'm reminded that sometimes the most challenging experiences can lead to the most profound growth and self rediscovery. The best part is that I didn't have to experience the trauma of the past, and I didn't want my clients to continue to experience that as well. And so, however, a client came to me, whether they were in medication, whether they were having support for mental health, that was all perfect. I wasn't there to tell people how to live their life, but to understand how they were living their life. As a result of that, their mental health improved. Some clients stopped taking their medication because that's what made sense to them, and some continued because they were living their best life on their own terms. They started to ask for things they wanted in life instead of waiting for it to be given or what was left over, so that they could rebuild the life they wanted without the fear of their hearts being broken. Now, I found that the most important part of my work is helping people to tap into their own innate power and wisdom. In understanding this, their divorce was a catalyst which revealed this gift. The gift not only to myself to create EDUCE to assist you, but also the gift to release your courage, confidence, wisdom to live the life that you have always wanted. And in doing that, releasing your innate confidence and courage to make decisions for yourself rather than waiting for validation for somebody else to guide you. You begin to understand yourself more and shed the person that you had become during the marriage, just as I did. And you begin to rediscover the true innate you, the one that you buried underneath all of the expectations you had about your marriage and the expectations that have been placed upon you by others. You find the courage to go through courts if you need to get the finances that is owed to you. See, that was an experience I had, and I would never have done that before if I hadn't come through this experience to rediscover who and what I truly was. And in understanding that, yes, there's joy and happiness, but there is a peace, a calm, a resilience that had been released within me so that I could deal with any stressful situation. But not only the stress, it's the joys as well, in being able to speak in front of conferences, in going backpacking in Europe for 2 weeks in two outfits, coming completely out of my own comfort zone, working and teaching with others, and also finding my soulmate. All of these things have come from me understanding what I truly am, and understanding who and how we work through the EDUCE framework. I'm so excited about this training. I'm so excited that you're still here, but I just want you to know who this training is for or who it's not for. So, this training isn't for men. Men, yes, I know and recognize that you are going through divorce, but this program is not for you. Also, this program is not for you if you're happily married. Clearly, by the title, it's for women who are going through divorce. However, if you're still listening, clearly you have some questions about your divorce and you can reach out to me and speak to me about that. It's not for women in their 20s and 30s because your experience of life will be different. And so this is for women who are getting divorced later on in life. It's also not for anybody who's not interested in learning something new or not interested in their own growth. See, what got you here is not going to get you to where you want to be. And in recognizing that, you may have to learn some new things, which may challenge some of the thoughts and feelings that you had previously. And so, if you're not up for that, then this training is not for you. But who is this training for? And I'm so excited. So, if you're a woman going through divorce or divorced in your 40s and moving on, and you're ready to move forward from your past relationships, to start a new chapter of your life, to take control of your life. For women who've experienced pain and trauma for your divorce, and you're looking for a new way to heal and rediscover yourself. You're a new person now with a new experience, and you've never been in this position before. And so you want to learn and understand who you are right here and right now. So, a woman who's interested in exploring your spirituality and incorporating it into your daily life. See, techniques are wonderful. However, these are things that you do, it's an outside in. When you tap into the spiritual nature of who you are, the formless nature of who you are, that wisdom that's within us, your life changes. And for women who want to connect with a community of like-minded individuals. You're not the only one going through this, and I want to ensure that you are supported by women like you going through this process who are healing and rediscovering their true nature at the same time. So let's get into this training then. And these are some of the different areas from the EDUCE framework that I'm going to cover in this training. So the first part of the 5 things newly divorced women should not do. Now, we know that we can be pulled from pillar to post. And as you can see from the previous slides, that there are so many things that we can try and just doesn't work out for us. So here's 5 things that I believe you shouldn't do, having experienced going through divorce myself. Part 2, we're going to look at the E part of EDUCE, which is the essence. How to reclaim the confidence to trust yourself without waiting on the permission of others. See, when you understand who and what you truly are, then you make decisions from that place and not wait for other people. And thirdly is the U in EDUCE, which is to understand. Understand how insight can enable you to rebuild your love life after divorce. I'm really excited to get into these things. So let's get in. For the first one is the 5 things newly divorced women should not do. First and foremost, being afraid of what other people may say. What you have to understand is that people are trying to make sense of what you're doing, often without asking you. For example, when you are going through divorce, your friends, family, and work colleagues may not even speak to you in the same way or avoid you altogether because they're confused. Your status has now changed, and so that nice little box they had you in no longer fits. And so they're trying to make sense of who you are and the role you play in their lives. Then on the other side, you're concerned because you're also confused, trying to make sense of your life at the moment, and you're also concerned about what other people may be thinking about you. The more concerned you are about what others think about you, the more distracted you are from your own journey of self rediscovery. And it becomes a vicious cycle. Breaking the cycle is understanding the fundamental principles behind how you create your thought created reality and recognizing that your friends are doing exactly the same. They're trying to make sense of what's going on in your situation as well. And so they're using their old beliefs and values about you to try and make sense of that of your situation. And as you know, that's not going to work. So don't be afraid of what others may say. The next one is don't fall into looking for complicated techniques or processes to try and make yourself feel better. Now, we know there's lots of different techniques for different problems. Since the beginning of time, humans have been problem solvers. And when there's been a problem or it's been solved, a new process or approach is being created. And this is what has happened in the emotional health field. During the evolution of psychology, there's been behavioral psychology where the emphasis is on changing behavior. Cognitive psychology has been based on changing thinking. Emotional freedom technique is based upon tapping the energy meridians. You've got talking therapy, you've got neuro linguistic programming, and so on and so on. Each of them has a place for a specific issue and problem a person may experience. However, if you've got what you think is a number of problems and issues, and then you take on a number of different techniques, the technique is only as effective as the application. And I know there have been many times when you don't want to do one technique, let alone several. You don't even want to get out of bed some days, let alone have to practice a process and a number of different techniques. I know that having different techniques can feel like you've got a sense of security. You know that there is these different things that you can fall back on, and it's something that you're familiar with. However, if you're not applying the technique, you're not practicing the technique, it's no longer fit for purpose. And so it's time for a change. In developing an understanding of who and what you are, it goes to the heart of who you are, makes you ready, creates a foundation for change. So there are no complicated techniques, just an elegant, simple, innate solution. When you develop an understanding of how you create your experience, then you won't have to utilize numerous techniques to address numerous problems. Going to the heart and the source of the problem, as opposed to dealing with the presenting consequences of your thinking, is where true lasting change comes from. You're looking at the foundation as opposed to trying to utilize a technique to make you feel better. The third problem that we can do, and I'm asking you not to do, is to go into the past. See, repeating what you've done in the past over and over again and expecting a different result is a sign of madness, according to Einstein. And so going into the past to try and find a solution for the now would never work. There was a client I worked with who came up with a brilliant analogy for this. She said that going into the past is like drinking stale milk. Now, let me explain. First and foremost, imagine that you've got two containers of milk before you. The first container has fresh milk, milk literally taken from source that morning, all with the beautiful nutrients ready to be consumed and to nourish your body. The second container also has milk in it, but it has green mold starting to creep over the lip of the container. And also, it may be creating its own personal environment within there as well. Now, imagine that you have a problem. Your problem is that you want some milk with your breakfast. And so, going into the past is looking beyond the new fresh milk and picking up the container with the green mold and putting it on your breakfast. Oh my gosh, are you gagging yet? Yes, that is the same as taking your past thinking experiences, whether it's a day old, a month old, a year old, 10 years old, and expecting it to nourish and serve you in the here and now. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that vivid visualization. Again, when you develop an understanding of how you time travel in the past, collect all your concerns and worries, and then bring them into the now to help you plan your future, that's where you get feelings of anxiety. And that's when the past begins to govern your future. Now, the fourth one is expecting someone else to fix this for you. See, coming through divorce may have been difficult, and yes, you would seek help from other people because you're not the first person that's gone through this. Now, you may have found somebody you resonate with, you're following a program, and there's been some success, and you start to feel in control. But then came a letter or another issue which seemed to throw you off course and leaves you feeling bewildered again. See, the techniques you were utilizing before are not providing you with the good feeling you are having. And so it lets you down. And then something else happens, something else, and it just feels like that negative feeling has been compounded. It's because you followed somebody else's process. In understanding who and what you truly are, you start to develop a process for yourself. You start to take responsibility for your own actions. You take responsibility for how you are going to move forward, not only throughout the divorce, but after divorce as well. In understanding who and what you truly are, you don't have to follow somebody's prescribed process. You have the courage and confidence to create your own. And finally, following somebody else, believing that you have to do what somebody else has done or everybody else has done. We know that there are lots of influencers, lots of people talking about how to improve your mood. And again, it can seem like an easy solution. However, as we've said before, once you start following somebody or following somebody's process, it doesn't work. We know that one size does not fit all. And so it's not going to work in this instance either. Again, developing an understanding of who and what you truly are helps you to develop and understand your day-to-day experiences. And so there is no need to follow somebody else. You don't need an influencer. I'm sure since going through your divorce, you've discovered aspects of yourself you never thought you had, pulled yourself through situations where you never thought you could, and the resilience that enabled you to bounce back ensures that you are still here. I know you will still face challenges, however, in understanding and knowing where your confidence and courage comes from deep within you, and you're able to tap into your wisdom, your knowledge, your courage, your confidence, because you have a greater depth of self-awareness. You will be able to navigate your life with more joy and more happiness and more peace and more calm than if you kept trying to follow somebody else and expecting somebody else to do that for you. So let's look at part two now, which is the essence, who and what you truly are. See, in discovering and embracing your spiritual identity, you can be a powerful catalyst for rebuilding confidence and trust in yourself after divorce. By connecting with your innermost beliefs, values, and who and what you truly are, you develop a deeper sense, a deeper understanding of your true sense and your true self, which transcends the transient circumstances of your life. See, this exploration of who and what you are can provide a solid foundation for healing, growth, and self rediscovery, empowering you to take and make decisions and choices that are in alignment with your authentic self. And as you cultivate this inner wisdom, tapping into your insight, wisdom, confidence, and courage, you're able to navigate this world even more confidently. So let's use dating as an example of how the essence can enable you to have confidence in the dating scene. See, I remember working on a project for a high profile client, again, going through divorce, and she wanted to be in a relationship. And now there's so much information pointing towards dating online. She then decided to do that. So let's call my client Jane. She'd been out of the dating scene for more than a decade. She'd been overwhelmed by the plethora of online dating options. And like many others, she didn't know where to begin. She began exploring popular dating apps and websites, read reviews, and then she discovered that there were algorithms which had an impact on where and how your profile would be presented on these apps. She then went on to read people's reviews about the challenges that people faced as well as the successes. All in all, it started to turn out to be a full-time job. The thing is, with Jane's situation, what she was looking for was a solution. However, the solutions didn't take into consideration her personal circumstances, the fact that she'd been out of the dating scene for a while, the fact that she was trying to navigate something she didn't truly understand, and it had a feeling of being overwhelmed. There are various features, algorithms, subscription plans, a complexity which at this time in her life, at that time in her life, she didn't need, she didn't want. She She didn't want to learn the etiquette of digital dating. And this overload of information could lead to frustration and disappointment. In addition to that, there's also, it can be daunting because there are other things that she may face online dating, which she may not have had to face before. See, Jane may encounter ageism and judgment from potential partners who may unfairly view her age as a drawback rather than embracing her wealth of life experience and wisdom. See, as I said previously in the presentation, where I said that maybe you would be deceptive, and this is one of the areas where you can lie about your age because, again, you're so desperate to attract somebody, to go on a date with somebody, you could lie about your age, and that is never a good foundation to start a relationship. Again, because she's been out the dating scene for so long, people are always quick to offer advice, unsolicited advice from friends and from family and from strangers even. And so you follow what other people say in your confused state and you can face disappointment valley. Yes, you could become disappointed and disillusioned in following what other people have said. By relinquishing your autonomy and allowing others to dictate your actions, just like Jane did, and you risk losing yourself, your authentic self, and making decisions that don't align with your true desires. See, the emotional toll can be significant, and you can feel trapped in a cycle of external validation. See, the disappointment stemming from this approach can be compounded when the outcomes of your dating experience don't meet your expectations or promises that others are offering. This can then lead to feelings of resentment, a sense of powerlessness, and some friends and family, clients give up. They think it's just not worth getting into a relationship. Thankfully for Jane, this was not her experience because in working with me, she recognized that she is her own expert, as you are. It's remembering that nobody knows you better than you, that you are the expert of your own life. While there are numerous divorce websites and forums offering an abundance of advice, it's important to recognize that all suggestions will not apply to your unique circumstances. Therefore, you need to be discerning when it comes to absorbing and implementing advice and taking on information. Remember, one size doesn't fit all. And so it's for you to make the decisions that are best for you, embracing who and what you truly are, trusting that you know what is best for you, trusting your instincts, listening to your inner voice, listening to your wisdom, that wisdom that's been there since the beginning of time. And by filtering out the external noise and being selective about the information that you're taking on board, in embracing who and what you truly are and beginning to learn to trust yourself through your understanding who and what you truly are, you then make best decisions for you. So what we have here is somebody who's listening. This is what you have to do, is to listen to your wisdom, is to listen to your intuition so that you can begin to rediscover your true essence. You get to know the heart of who you are. You get to understand the thoughts and beliefs that you held whilst you're in your marriage and understand how you're evolving and changing. You now develop a different skill set, a different awareness and grounding so that you play a different game. You live a different life. You begin to trust yourself and know that you are the expert of your life and understanding. Yes, you can listen to other information, you can listen to other people, but now it's being filtered through you, your true values, your true beliefs, your true essence, your true nature. So that you have not only a spiritual understanding, but a psychological understanding of who and what you are. So there is less confusion and you're able to base your decisions on a solid foundation. And in building your life on a solid foundation, what then happens is that When you face those dating sites again, the feeling of confusion may still be there, but it doesn't linger. I truly want you to win when you are looking for love, and winning means having a sense of peace and understanding of who and what you truly are. And so now you enjoy the game of dating as opposed to dreading it because the outcomes are not how you expected them to be, what you expected them to be. By maintaining your self confidence and staying grounded in your own truth, you can successfully navigate these challenges and opportunities presented by online dating. You'll be better equipped to make decisions that align with your personal goals and ultimately find a meaningful connection or meaningful connections that enrich your life. Remember, you are the architect of your own happiness, and your resilience and self assuredness will shine through. And that is what will attract your new partner. That's what you will love about your new life, the fact that the true you is shining through. So rather than only seeking advice from somebody and following a process, you're, as we've said previously, trusting yourself so that you can listen to insight and move forward with your life. Let's have a look how this can work out in your day to day. Having come through divorce, it is life altering. It's an event that can leave you feeling lost, confused, and struggling to think for yourself. The process of separating from a partner with whom you shared your life, your dreams, and expectations can be emotionally and mentally draining. As you navigate the unknown territory of post divorce, it's not uncommon to feel directionless and question your own judgment. The emotional turmoil and the need to make critical decisions about your future can often exacerbate the sense of disorientation. It's essential to acknowledge these feelings and recognize that it's normal to feel unsure of yourself during these times of transition. And as I've said previously, you can look for different techniques and approaches to help you feel better because there are numerous problems, there are numerous questions that you may not feel that you can resolve them. In searching for solutions, you may turn to various traditional techniques and methods to address these issues, such as yoga. Some people may go for surgery, you go to retreats, just trying to find different ways in order to help you to make decisions. While these approaches may be helpful, they only temporary can only provide a temporary relief. You may feel a sense of relief or accomplishment after practicing a specific technique, but once you stop, as we've said before, the feeling starts to fade and you may feel stuck again. When facing a challenging situation, it's natural to rely on the information and knowledge you already possess. This approach can be helpful in many instances as it allows you to draw upon your experience and expertise to navigate the problem. However, the thinking that got you here will not get you where you want to be. Another Einstein wonderful quote. So, can you trust your current thinking? See, the thoughts that brought you here are old, stale. Remember that old milk we spoke about before? It's your past. And bringing that into your current to try and solve a problem that you have here and now, that thinking won't work. Ultimately, whilst it's essential to acknowledge the limitations of your current thinking, it doesn't mean that you should completely disregard it. Instead, it's about how you can take the nuggets from that and allow insight to help you to make the future decisions. So, what is insight? See, believe it or not, developing an understanding of how you create your experience moment by moment enables you to have the space so that insight can contribute to your decision making, your personal growth, and relationships. Instead of overthinking and attempting numerous problem solving techniques, you start to comprehend how your old thought pattern generated the feelings associated with the problem. So you have the space that allows insight to give you greater clarity about the past, greater clarity about your current situation, which can then help you with your decision making. See, just as the name implies, insight is a sight from within, an innate ability to perceive situations for what they are and understand why they occur. This is a powerful skill, and it plays a critical role in rebuilding your life after divorce. Embracing this inner vision enables you to identify your personal patterns, learn from past experiences, and make better decisions in your relationships. As you gain more insights, you'll find that your emotional resilience and self awareness improves, allowing you to navigate the complexities of love, of life with greater ease. And so, what does insight look like? It can feel daunting because this is something that's could potentially be new for you. Rather than using your logic to work things out, it's about listening to wisdom, listening to something that's fresh and new right now. And how do you develop that understanding? See, the EDUCE model was generated because insight became my guiding star for many of the decisions that I have made and continue to make. So, what can insight feel like? Insight is, and it can feel like an aha moment when things suddenly become clear and you gain a new perspective on things. Insights can be transformative because the sight from within starts to put a spotlight on the values and beliefs that you had previously and see whether those values and beliefs are still relevant to the new you, the person you are right here and right now. So, what can an insight look like, feel like? You've heard about follow your gut instincts. Many people that I've worked with in the past have said that prior to doing something, going into a situation, they had that gnawing feeling within. I had the same when I was going to get married. I had a negative feeling, but I put it down to pre wedding jitters. Part of me wishes I had listened and resonated and understood what that feeling was. However, if I hadn't been down that route, I wouldn't be here supporting you right here and right now. But at the time, I had turned to different techniques. I had used CBT, I had used tapping in order to feel better. But when none of those worked, I had to start listening to my wisdom, that voice within, and recognizing that my wisdom had turned up in some ways as a gut feeling. Another way that your intuition and insight can turn up is by having a peace of mind. See, there are times when you make a decision and a feeling of peace can wash over you. Now, I would interpret that as being in alignment with your true self, that you are in peace, that everything you do just flows, it just feels really easy. See, during my journey of self rediscovery, I found solace in the fundamental truths that underpin the EDUCE model. By understanding who and what I am at my very core, where these experiences could stem from, I could navigate the different challenges I was experiencing through my divorce. This is what happens when you're grounded in your true identity. You have a connection with your inner compass, guiding you with the different decisions that you have to make. Yes, there will be situations where you're going to feel challenged, you're going to feel pushed, but coming from this place of groundedness, from your intuition, from wisdom, you manage these challenges with grace and with courage. And also, it can feel like you have this deeper inner standing of yourself, not under, but an inner standing. By developing insight, you become more in tune with your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences. You're able to acknowledge how you feel and not hide away from them because you know and have an inner standing of where that experience is coming from. The feelings and the emotions that you experience are not something to hide from anymore, but for you to embrace. And in the context of relationships, having insights into your own feelings and emotions can improve your connection with your partner, can improve the connection with yourself. You're able to communicate your thoughts and emotions more effectively, leading you to increase empathy and understanding between you and another. This mutual understanding fosters a healthy and supportive relationship, dynamic and beautiful and evolving without fear. In having this insight allows you to reevaluate your priorities as well. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and it can be hard to see where you fit into the picture. Particularly when you're going through divorce, it's important to take time out of your day so that you can reflect on what's truly important to you. And in doing that, you are more equipped to enjoy the life, the relationship that you could have in the future. This is a transformative journey, one that changes your life forever. And it's for you to embrace the change and not run from it. So, here's what we've covered: the 5 things newly divorced women should not do. And you've been through that and you know exactly what that is. Also, how to reclaim the confidence to trust yourself by rediscovering who and what you truly are, your true essence. You have a firm foundation so that you don't have to rely upon others and seek their permission before you do what you want to do, because it's based upon who and what you are, your true identity. And in understanding who and what you truly are creates more space for you to have insight so that these insights can enable you to rebuild your love life because you are listening to your innate wisdom. And in moving forward, the process, how you move forward, how you live your life is based upon your true identity, not who you think you are, but what you actually are. And so clients who have come through this understanding, understand who and what they truly are, tapped into the courage and confidence they truly are, has enabled them to move forward with their lives. And this is what I want for you. I want you to be able to flourish, to grow, to live life on your own terms, a truly holistic life where you can tap into your innate courage and confidence, to be the resilient person you've always been, but you've forgotten, to be on a path of self rediscover so that you can renew your heart, renew your mind, renew your soul, to live life on your own terms. And in living life on your own terms, you bring that firm foundation of who you are into your relationships, into your life, because you have this firm foundation. You rediscover who you are, you rediscover your true, authentic self. And in order for you to be next, what I am doing during this webinar is to offer you an opportunity to change your life. See, in offering you this opportunity, I want you to have success. I want you to win. And so I'm offering you a complimentary alignment call, which can be a catalyst to the changes in your life that you want to see. See, having been in the personal development field for over 20 years and growing and developing different models, I want you to win based upon who and what you truly are. See, during this alignment call, I want you to receive the clarity you need in order to move forward with your life. That's why I've made room over the next few days to speak with you on a one-to-one basis. We'll work together to identify what's working for you and to help you to reach those relationship goals that you may have for yourself. By the time you conclude this powerful alignment call, you'll be equipped with a blueprint that's been tried and tested not only by me, but by countless of my clients to design and live life on your own terms. It'll be a comprehensive blueprint enabling you to move forward with your life, to identify your core values, strengths, and passions, to dig into your resilience, to recognize that it's always been there in this courage and confidence. See, this blueprint will serve as your roadmap, enabling you to rediscover who and what you truly are. In essence, this alignment call will enable you, provide you with the information and the knowledge for you to live life on your own terms. And I would encourage you to book an alignment call so that your life can be changed. And if it feels that you're a good fit, I may offer you an opportunity to come onto the coaching program called Renewable Heart. This is where you actually become a client of mine, work with me on a one-to-one basis, and also have support where you actually get coached and mentored through this whole process. And if this opportunity were offered to you on this call, then I know it will change your life as it has changed so many of my other clients. Now, many of you may be curious and you're just thinking, okay, I just want to have a call. I just want to work with you. And you just want to be a client straight away. And I think that's great and it's amazing. However, I only let and work with people who I know are a good fit. I only work with people who I know that they are at the right place, that this could work with them, work for them. And so then that's the only way you'd sign up and become a client. Through having an alignment session with myself, making that assessment to make sure that you are a good fit and that this is going to be of benefit for you right here and right now. So it starts with this alignment call. And even though I say it could be literally be the most important thing you can do right now, it's for you to invest in yourself, that you are worth moving forward, worth this investment to help plan out your life, tap into your resilience, tap into your courage and confidence. And so, yes, we'll offer you the opportunity to have a call. However, there is a condition. You will be pointed towards filling in a form. As soon as you have booked your call, you will have to complete a questionnaire. This questionnaire enables me to have a better understanding of who and what you truly are, so that when we get on the call, I have an understanding of what you perceive your issues to be right now and how we can move forward with that. But I'm very, very firm about this. If you do not complete the form prior to the call will not happen. And this is about you investing in yourself before you have this call. It enables us to work with you to customize our approach for you so that it is based upon who you are, not a cookie cutter, one size fits all, but who you are. See, it's all too easy for life to pass you by, for you to be in fight or flight mode, or to be bitter and resentful, and life continues to pass you by. However, in attending an alignment call, completing the questionnaire, you start to take control of your life. Life doesn't live you, you live your life. And so attend the call if you're offered an opportunity to have an alignment call, because this could be the turning point in your life. It's an opportunity to transform your life. And so don't allow this opportunity to slip through your fingers. See, this is more than just a call, it's an invitation to reclaim your power, to rediscover who you are right here and right now in this stage of your life. And so I would encourage you to book your call. And if you are a good fit, you would be offered the opportunity to embark upon the Renewable Heart program to begin to live life on your own terms. Remember, the thinking that got you here will not get you where you want to be. See, can you trust the thinking you have right now? If you're in an echo chamber, just listening to your own thoughts or listening to other people, we want you to move beyond that, to rediscover your true heart, your true nature, so that that can be your guiding star, that can be your guiding light, to live the life you've always wanted to live on your own terms, from your heart, from your soul. And so I cannot wait to speak with you, to assist you, to be with you on this journey as you rediscover who and what you truly are, to live life on your terms. Can't wait to speak with you. Take care.